Namaskar, I'm Harpreet Kaur and I welcome you all to our live and interactive online training program on digital footprint. This training program is brought to you by CIET NCERT in collaboration with CyberPeace. And you're watching us right now on PM eVidya channels 6 to 12 and also on our YouTube handle NCERT Official. This is our 5-day, 5-hour online training program where each day we will bring you a different topic with a specific resource person talking on that particular theme and apprising us all about it. We have been listening to this term, don't ever leave your digital footprints recklessly. You have to be very careful on what information you're sharing online so that you do not become a victim of cyber fraud, cyber threat. So there are many things that we are listening to these days, and we need to stay updated and protected because we are there on this domain, online domain, and we have to use social media. We have to make financial transactions online. So somewhere we have our presence on the cyberspace, but we need to keep ourselves protected, safe and secure too. So through this particular course, we will equip our learners with comprehensive understanding and practical awareness of digital footprints and their long-term implications in the online environment. All the details related to this particular course are available on our CIET website, which will be shared with you after the session gets over. And today, since we are on day 1 of the training session, the topic that we have taken up is digital footprint concept and need. I'm sure you must be having a lot of questions because we're laying the foundation of this online training program today. So please make sure that you ask questions. Our phone number is 8800440559. We also have a dedicated email ID for you, that is training.helpdesk@ciet.nic.in. It's right there in front of you, and on our YouTube handle NCERT Official also. You can send us your questions, suggestions and your feedback. Now, to know more about digital footprints, what exactly its definition is, how it is impacting each one of us in our everyday life, let's speak to our experts. So please join me in welcoming my guest for the session. We have with us Mr. Sridhar. Sir is from tech team of CyberPeace, New Delhi. Sir, namaskar and very warm welcome to the session.
Namaskar, ma'am. It feels very warm to address the wider netizens over here, and I'll be providing the brief synopsis of what I'll be providing in the session today. So today's session is focusing on understanding the digital footprint, the trail of the data we create when we use the internet, whether we are searching information, using social media or accessing online services. In an increasingly digital India, awareness of our online behavior is no longer optional. Our digital footprint affects privacy, safety, reputation and future opportunities as well.
Right.
Now, what I will be saying will be aligned with the new education policy 2020.
Okay.
This session treats digital literacy as a core life skill, not as a technical subject. It encourages responsible decision making, ethical use of technology, and critical thinking in online spaces. Also, our Prime Minister's vision is for the Viksit Bharat. I'll be aligning this session with that as well. A developed nation, after all, is not built on any advanced technology, but on digitally aware citizens who can use technology safely, wisely, and responsibly. As we say in CyberPeace, connect, protect, and respect. The goal is simple: to help the learners become safe, responsible, and future ready for the digital citizens of India.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing this agenda with us. We are looking forward to the session, and I request you now to kindly go ahead with your presentation uninterrupted. Whatever questions we will be receiving from our audiences and viewers, we will take them up in the end, sir. Over to you.
Yeah, just a second. I'll be switching my screen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Yeah.
And here we are going to begin the session. Right.
Yeah. So starting off the session, what do we see over here? Before that, I must say, we are the first generation in human history whose life are being recorded digitally from a very young age. Every message, every search, every click leaves a mark, not just on a paper, but on the digital systems now. This record is called a digital footprint. Now, see this chart. every 60 seconds, you can see how much growing number of the netizens who are the fresh users over the Twitter, like in millions. Now, you can see that every 60 seconds, there are 48,000 hours of music being streamed over Spotify. Above that, this activity does not vanish. It is stored, processed, and increasingly analyzed by the machines. As India becomes more digital, data becomes the foundation of progress as well as responsibility. In just 1 minute, millions of emails are sent, searches are made, videos are watched across the world. You can see that there is a YouTube watch time of, I guess, more than 500 hours in just 60 seconds. Now, following that, let us move on to my third slide, which is what is a digital footprint? Let us take this in a very layman term. You are walking upon a muddy path. When you look behind, there is a trail of the steps that you leave behind. Now, likewise, in cyberspace, every site you visit, every info that you share, every post that you make are contributing to the digital footprints. Now, the problem with this is that digital footprints can be stored forever. This may be good if this would be used for building your reputation online, or it could also be used by your apps to make your interface better, like understanding you, your emotions, your behavior while using the app to serve you better. But all of this comes at a cost. If this get into wrong hand, it could be misused with practices like social engineering to use the data against you. Now, we can see that the digital shadow kind of term emerges into it. Even when you believe no one is watching, systems are quietly recording the activity. In the age of artificial intelligence, this data helps machine understand the behavior. That is why awareness today protects opportunities tomorrow. What kind of digital footprints we can see that can be recorded? Websites visited, social posts that are being made. Also, we can see emails that are being sent, online purchases when you buy something online, and transaction activities and stuff like that. Other than that, moving forward, I can see there are various types of digital footprints. As of now, we'll be addressing two. Those include the active footprint and the passive footprint. Starting with active footprint, this includes posts, comments, photos, forms, etc. Things you knowingly share, like you are intentionally sharing your information upon this post. Like when you are just posting your photo on Instagram, sharing how you feel, it is an intentional stuff. But when we talk about passive footprint, this includes location, cookies, browsing patterns, often collected without noticing. What is the analogy behind this? Is that active footprint is what you say, you do it intentionally, while passive footprint is what the system observes while you do that particular activity. In modern systems, passive data often carries more value. You can see that what kind of data could we share possibly online. Social media posts and comments that I just talked about, filling out online forms, uploading photos, videos, or sending mails or messages. While passive footprints, they are the data collected without your awareness or consent. IP addresses. Why this IP address is important? It is because it leads to the exact location or proximity on which you are standing upon currently. Other than that, browser cookies, beacons, browser cookies. If you talk about browser cookies, it collects your behavioral data, analytical data, that how you behave when you use that particular interface. Location data from applications, browsing history analytics, etc. Now, let us move forward with why does our digital footprint matter? Today, most of us could be students, maybe parents, maybe professionals. Tomorrow, we'll be choosing another path. maybe universities, maybe different careers or responsibilities. What kind of impacts can we observe? The first one comes to reputation. Employers and universities routinely review the digital footprints during the application process. Even when I was researching upon this topic, I came across many different forums in which students got rejected just because of the digital footprints. Now, it comes to the second part, that is security vulnerabilities. Personal information can be exploited by cyber criminals for identity theft or phishing attacks and fraud. Above that, I must say you, somebody could use your data to analyze how you behave, how you interact, how you are in real life, to impersonate you and use the same against you. We can understand this with the help of the concepts like deepfake. You didn't make a video online, but somehow your family member gets a video of you saying, of you requesting that please give me 5,000 rupees. It is the same voice, it is the same photo that you use. But the question comes again, how does it occur? It is because of the digital footprint that you just made by posting your video on the social media platform. Now, this could also lead to the lasting real world impact. Your online actions can have permanent consequences affecting relationship, careers, or opportunities. I have a real life scenario forward that will explain how just a single comment led to the change of the society, of the behavior towards a very young guy who just got a grammatical error in his post. Now, it is about data profiling and targeting. Influences, the personalized advertising, content recommendations, and how companies understand your behavior. I just talked about cookies, right? So these cookies are using your behavioral data to give you personalized ads, to give you personalized services, to let you be the slave of it. Now, if we see what key terms that emerge from here, reputation, security, and long-term consequences that will be real-world impacts. If we align with this, with the NEP and the Viksit Bharat link, a developed nation depends on the citizens who understand the impact of their actions, both offline and online. Let us come to the next slide. That is, what are some kind of examples of digital footprints? It could be social media activity. It could be search histories. It could be online shopping or location data. Let me just brief you upon this. Social media activities includes posting photos, comments, likes, shares, and stories that you share on the platforms like X, or you may say Instagram, across many different platforms. Other than that is online shopping. We frequently visit e-commerce sites. We purchase a lot of stuff. We wish list and subscription. All of this data gets stored onto a place. And if this gets into a wrong hand, it could be misused. Let us come now to browsing and search history. Every website we visited and search query that we entered created a detailed record of what we are and what our interest could be. Talking about the location data, GPS-enabled applications and devices constantly monitor our location, creating detailed movement patterns of what places we visit frequently, of what are the places we are spending most of our times at, what is our personal address, and many more. If we think about social media profile breakdown, I must say, a single profile can reveal habits, interests, location, and personal patterns. In the digital age, strangers may know more than we expect. Convenience often increases data collection. In coming years, data will be linked across platforms. You can observe here what kind of social media platforms use the digital footprints as your name, your photos, your interest, even the events you attended, your political leanings. your employment details, your education details, your hometown, your current city, or your relationship status. It is your decision that if you want to go private with it or public. If we talk about the threats that are emerging for the children and the young people, they include a lot, but I'll be talking about child sex predators, CSAM materials, that are child sexual abuse materials, online gaming, and electronic addictions. These kind of stuffs happen regularly over the internet, and just because we leave a trail behind ourselves or visit a site that was illegitimate and we share our personal information that wasn't to be shared, that wasn't supposed to be shared. Now, if we come forward, cyberbullying, inappropriate content, online manipulation, addiction, these kind of stuffs happen. Education must prepare learners for real-world digital challenges, not just academic success. If we talk about how digital footprints can affect children and teens, we can see that young people grow digitally before they fully understand the permanence. Posts do not get older, but people do. Sometimes we tend to have an overthinking habit that I posted a stuff that I am not relating to now. I posted some content that isn't being a part of what I am today. But it's okay. It's not something to worry about. It is something that you should regularly update in order to let the society know that you have changed or evolved from that particular period. Digital literacy is now a life skill. Young people are particularly vulnerable to long-term consequences of their digital presence. You can see there are many pie graphs that include hourly, daily online habits, average time the children spend online, leaving extensive digital trails, that is about 4.5 hours roughly. Posts made today can impact university applications or your job prospects over the coming years. If we talk about social media of teens aged between 13 to 17 years, what they do is they spend their 92% of their time on social media platforms. What kind of risks or the patterns or that threat we can observe over here? Increased risks of identity theft, which I just talked about, cyberbullying, that you just posted a photo, somebody doesn't like it, and they start bullying you, and now you feel depressive. It is something related to the unwanted contact from strangers. It happens that many times teenagers connect to different strangers online, and the strangers lead them to inappropriate content that they weren't supposed to visit. Let us now talk about something professional that we can see. Whenever you apply for the job applications or the organization's role, you can see that recruiters are oftenly monitoring social media behaviors before the hiring decisions. Early digital literacy education fosters safer, more responsible online behavior and habits. Let us now move forward with risks of an unmanaged digital footprint. Identity theft. Criminals can piece together personal information from various sources to steal your data, identity, and access your accounts. Reputational damage. Inappropriate content can resurface years later. I was talking about a few minutes ago that somebody made a comment and he didn't try to demean a particular guy. He was just trying to express his emotion over there. But this could be used against you. That, see, this kind of person was something else a year ago. Therefore, digital footprint is important to be updated. It could harm your personal relationships, it could harm your personal opportunities, etc. When we talk about privacy breaches, data sharing practices and security leaks can expose sensitive information to unauthorized parties. When we were researching in our team, we came across a very big organization that used to deal with steel kind of manufacturing processes. When we did the vulnerability assessment test, we saw that thousands of data related to the username and passwords were leaked. Somebody could use that username and password to just impersonate you into the same website, the legal one that will be used in the company or the organization, and make changes or draw some confidential information that only you could have accessed. This would lead to the data working against you. Always be wary that you should be using legitimate sites. I will be talking about this in the future prospects. Manipulation and targeting is something we should talk about. Your data profile enables targeted misinformation, political manipulation, and exploitative advertising tactics. Other than that, oversharing often begins with comfort, not with bad intention. Location posts, travel updates, and future relevance are the things we should be thinking about more. Management is awareness, it is not fear. So, future misinformation may be personalized using individual data, just like in this scenario. What happened was that 80% of the robbers check Twitter's, Facebook, Google Street View to identify different kind of persons and the patterns they use to surf on the internet. And by this, these robbers check the social network to see if you are at home, if you are ordering some kind of thing to just scam you again, and stuff like that. I was talking about the post that mentioned about a boy who just posted a photo of himself, and what happened is that he made a grammatical error. You can see he posted that he must have suffered a breakup or some kind of thing like that. The post said, pain makes you stronger, fear makes you braver, heartbreaks makes you wisher. What he meant was wiser, but by mistake he wrote wisher. What happened is that netizens tried to just bully him or try to make fun of him that, see, he doesn't have a proper grammar. They tried to make humorous content based upon that. What happened that was, once these kind of comments were analyzed by our government, it led to severe reports on them. It led to the acts being implemented upon them, that they could not comment like this on social media platform. It may lead to depressive or any other kind of behavior that the child may suffer. Now there was a trending sari challenge. It might be possible that you all would have heard about this. What happened was that hackers, by intention, created a challenge in which women needed to post their photos along with them dressed up in an attire of sari and using some particular kind of hashtags to relate them to their specific accounts. What they did in the background was they took their photos and tried to morph them into nudes or use them without their consent. You can observe that this challenge might just be a playground for the cyber criminals to make porn, catfish, blackmail people. They are using deep nudes for creating morph pictures of clothed people as nude. So it is important to stay smart and stay safe. Now let us talk about how would you report a comment online. If you see that I just talk about the comments that were being made, if you come across any kind of comment like that, what you can do is just click on the three dot, then click on report option, and now you must provide the information that why you are reporting this kind of comment and share your views upon that. Once the content is shared, control reduces. So digital respect begins with responsible sharing. Ethics and self-discipline are the key to manage yourself over the internet. Now, let us move forward with the next slide, which is cyber hygiene. What is cyber hygiene? Cyber hygiene is the practice of keeping yourself digitally healthy. Just like daily cleanliness protects your health, cyber hygiene protects your identity. There are some topics like we should always manage our password and use multi-factor authentication. We should use strong passwords, unique passwords combined with multi-factor authentication. What multi-factor authentication does is that when you create a username, you enter a password. It leads to just an authentication process and you log in into the device. After adding MFA, which is the multi-factor authentication, what happens is that you get an extra layer of security. Now, what happens is that whenever you enter your password, you would also be requested to submit an OTP that will be going into your device, after which only you could be able to log in into your device, so that the risk of someone impersonating you is being mitigated. Let us now talk about the safe browsing habits. To avoid websites that are malicious or they are supposed to be kind of threat actors, you should always use secure connections. How could you identify that? You could identify it by simply seeing that if it has a HTTPS connection, Hyper Transfer Text Protocol, safe. S stands for safe. And be cautious while downloading the files or clicking unknown links to prevent the malware being injected into your device, which would also lead to your digital footprints being more visible to the hacker. What we often forget is updating the device regularly. Once the device is created, the OS is created, the data hasn't been used much. So threat actors, what they do is they search for vulnerabilities into the operating systems and then try to exploit them. So to mitigate that threat as well, we should always patch the vulnerabilities and update ourselves regularly to protect ourselves against the emerging cyber threats. Now, commonly what we see at airports is that there is a USB port lying over there or a pen drive lying over there, and thanks to our intuitive or the very searching mindset that I must plug in into this and check what happens next, or it's okay, let us use the charging port over here for a few while. Once you plug in that thing, what happens is that all of your data is being sniffed. Your digital footprint is being sniffed and malware gets injected into your device again. So be wary that whenever you use USB, it should come from a trusted source that you know about. Let us talk about password management. What are passwords? They are the first lock. Multi-factor authentication is the second. In a digital economy, identity, I feel, is a wealth. Password management techniques are must to be adhered by anyone. This could also help you to keep your digital footprints be safe online. Password management technique includes use long complex passphrases to increase security. You must not rely just on a simple plain English word. Instead, what you should use is a combination of letters, different characters like special characters of underscore, @ etc., and some numerical values into it. What we often observe is that we reuse password across many digital platforms. The same password we use on social media is the same that we use on the e-commerce website. But this is wrong. We should always use different passwords. What better technique I would recommend is to use passphrases. Like my name is Naman Sridhar. What I'll be doing is taking 2 letters from each of the sentence and then forming a passphrase. After which I'll be using varied characters to create different password based upon that. Other than that, what we observe is we don't often regularly update the passwords that we have. What we should do is regularly update the password between 6 to 7 weeks in order to stay safe and prevent the breaches. If we talk about multi-factor authentication, what benefits does it adds into us? It acts as an extra layer of security beyond passwords. I just told about that once you submit your password, you will be asked about to share the OTP that you just got on your device or some kind of other device that would be used as an authentication service to let you into your account. It reduces the risks of account compromises or stolen credentials. It supports various methods like SMS, authenticator apps, biometrics. Nowadays, it also comes in forms of authentication USB drives as well, like the Google Titan key or the Ubico key, etc. It is also widely recommended as best of the practices that we can use to safeguard ourselves from the breaches. Moving forward, we can see managing our digital footprint. We talked about the threats, we talked about a lot of stuff that happened on the internet and how it could affect us. But how could we manage our digital footprint? Starting with privacy settings. We should regularly audit and adjust the privacy controls on all social media platforms and online accounts. We should always think before posting. Consider the long-term impact of every post. Consider the long-term impact of every photo and the comment you would make. Ask, would I want this to be seen in the coming 5 years? Or is it necessary for me to share this information across the public? Or you could also ask that, am I oversharing a bit? This could lead your mental cognitive skills to work that moment and lead you to a safer environment that you will be comfortable about and you could address to if any kind of maltreatment has happened with that particular data. Or also help you with keeping track of what you posted, of what you were feeling and how that data could be used. Other than that, there are privacy tools that we can use. We should enable private browsing modes. Incognito mode is one of them. Limit cookie acceptance and use VPNs. The case with VPNs is that when you connect to a VPN server, like NordVPN, what happens is that your location services, your cookies, your behavior, your analytics wouldn't be revealed of you being you. It would lead to a safer environment that you could explore the internet about. We should always strengthen security, employ strong passwords, enable two-factor authentication, and use password managers in case we think that we might forget the password. What we can see is that control begins with awareness. There is an also pro tip that we have added. We should always add a quarterly reminder to review our digital footprint, to search our own name, to see what kind of information that could be revealed. Like you just go on to Google, you search your name. In case your name doesn't appear, try to make your digital footprint a bit stronger because all those algorithms would help you develop a safer environment for you or would also provide opportunities to you in the coming future. Now, let us come on to account, device, and footprint. Digital safety is a system, not a single action. Let's talk about protecting our accounts across all the devices and products. Using strong passwords, password managers, two-step verification, and recognizing phishing mails. How do you recognize a phishing mail? What happens is that whenever you come across a mail with an urgent tone, like the deadline is 48 hours, if you won't submit, all your assets would be snatched. Possibly, it could be a phishing mail. Second, it would come from a very different mail. Supposedly, if I would have to mail NCERT, What would be my possible mail? That would be naman.sridhar, my organization name, .com. But when you see that somebody is kind of impersonating you or kind of doing a phishing attack on you, the email is quite different and it is quite strange, like lily@gmail.com. Why would it come from a illegitimate kind of mail address? Other than that, I see protecting our devices from unauthorized access and bad apps even if lost. We should use device locks in case we must not reveal our data to anyone who is near around us. We should always check for the app permissions. How could you check for the app permissions? Before installing an app, always use a trusted source. Like for Android applications, it could be Play Store. What you will do is search for the application that you need to install, or if you want to install an application, just click on it. Scroll down below and you will see the option of app safety, under which when you click, you could see how that application would be using your data, how that application would be taking your data and utilizing it. App security is another thing we should talk about. Software updates recognize potential malware threats. We should always be wary that we shouldn't click on unknown links or illegitimate links that doesn't seem or appear to be legitimate. Let us talk about footprint, protecting our privacy and digital reputation. We should always enable privacy settings. We should always be wary that what kind of information that we are sharing. Is it too personal or it can be posted? Using incognito mode or VPN, which I talked about, and always reading the terms of service, because under the terms and conditions of the terms of service, it is mentioned that how your data, how your behavior, how your patterns or your digital footprint would be used. And we should always think before sharing any content online. Understanding what kind of account settings that we have built across applications. These are some of the do's and don'ts we should always follow. We should never post our intimate pictures online or even share it online with any stranger or even to the persons we know closely, because in cyberspace there is an attack called man-in-the-middle attack, in which there is a communication being sniffed by a threat actor. So be wary of sharing the intimate pictures. You should always turn off your location. You should never add strangers into your following list. Other than that, we could see that there is update security settings. Just a second. I hope my slide is... Just a second. Yeah.
So we have seen so far that how it's making a great impact, and we've also seen that how it is important to not leave your digital footprint, especially that AI example.
Actually, your voice is coming to me very fragmented. Can you repeat it again?
Yeah, what I said, sir, you have given some really great examples like that AI sari challenge, which is very common, and a lot of people actually gave away the unnecessary permissions and put themselves and their data at risk. So I think we must understand that digital footprints are very important, and we must leave them cautiously. Please continue,
sure.
sir.
So we were talking about the do's and don'ts. Now we are coming on to the next part. That is, we should always be we should always be careful that what kinds of system applications and how they are being, how the data is being used, and if they are updated or stuff like that. Just a second, ma'am.
Sure, sir. You can take your time.
Yeah.
And we have seen.
Am I clearly audible? Is my voice coming?
Yes, sir. Yes, you're perfectly audible, sir.
Okay. So now, let us now continue. That is about reviewing the tags and mentions.
Okay.
I mentioned about the trending sari challenge. That happened just because people tagged the particular threat actor and used the same kind of hashtags that the hacker wanted the netizens to perform. We should always look for the login alerts, that if we are observing that our account is being logged into another device or any kind of stuff like that, we should never connect to the public Wi-Fi networks. Now, it is all about platform safety and well-being. Digital well-being is as important as digital skill. It is an holistic development. One day, your digital footprint will speak before you do. So be cautious. Let it reflect responsibility, awareness, and values. A strong digital India is built by responsible citizens. What goes online stays online. So, what kind of measures we could always keep in our mind? Number one is the security. We should always do a security checkup and check upon the basic things of our security settings. Privacy settings. Choose what you want to share and with whom. It is not about oversharing the information or doing or posting stuff intuitively. Third is about safety. Block anyone you don't want to interact with and easily report the harmful content. Well-being. Helping you build meaningful social interactions. Now, it is about your digital footprint is your digital legacy. I just talked about a strong digital India is built by responsible citizens. Why? Because every online action contributes to a lasting digital record that shapes your future. What we should do is 3-step framework. Number one, be aware. Understand that your online actions have a permanent consequences. Second, stay proactive. Actively manage your digital presence to protect privacy and reputation. Use your footprint positively while minimizing the associated risks. Your future self will thank you for the digital legacy you create now. So, watch your digital footprint. What goes online stays online. Think before you post. Other than that, I would also like to promote some kind of initiatives by us. What happens is that the general audiences aren't much aware about what is going into the cyberspace, or they fear that how could I just adjust or match up the pace that is going on to the cyberspace. What we have done is created a course with collaboration of Delnet of the Cyber First Responder Program. It is a 10-hour course which anybody across the global aspect could watch and develop safe kind of digital hygiene practices or mitigating the digital footprint issues. Also, we have launched eRaksha project for the AI Save Bharat. It includes many different thematics. You could also see that in video. And also, eRaksha project is all about peace and safety in the trust of the machine age. We are also organizing Global iSafe Hackathon, which is inclusive and secure AI for everyone. We are promoting safe practices, and there are different kind of thematics that are again under this hackathon. Other than that, I would also like to brief upon a topic. Just let me grab my presentation if it was a separate one. Just a second. Sorry.
Yes, sir. So you can definitely let us know, sir, what you want to present, but it's just a polite reminder that we are left with very little time.
Okay, so how much time we have right now?
5 to 7 more minutes.
No issues.
Okay.
So we all have talked about a lot, but there must be the key takeaways. What are the key takeaways in 3 simple steps? What are the places that you visit online? Ask to yourself, and why does it matter to you? Second is about what kind of the activities represent in your day-to-day life, like surfing across the social media platforms. You could observe that you are sharing posts and your feelings. Why does that matter to you, and what does it represent about you to the society? And third is about responsible measures you take online. We talked about reporting the unsafe content or the illegitimate comments that we see online. It is about responsible measures that we will be taking. Other than that, I must say that when we reside under a country, we are citizens of a country. When we connect to the internet or the World Wide Web, we are netizens. We are all connected somehow. Each of our steps are being recorded or are being shared across the global aspects. So, cautiousness is the key. What kind of story your digital footprint says about you is important. Even if you have posted something back years ago and it doesn't relate to you right now, it's okay. It's nothing to worry about. Part of growing is updating your story and showing the best and authentic you. Be wary of little comments you make. Every comment from let's just take an example. A man made a video of him cooking a food. He shared a recipe. At one side, there was a comment saying that, yum, I would love to taste this recipe. And the other side said that maybe this guy isn't cooking very good and this looks worst. What kind of digital footprint can we observe over here? See, one digital footprint is about what your perception is towards the society. The good comment said that you are friendly and you are encouraging, while the other said that it is kind of a rude comment, even if you are just expressing your mood. So think before you post. You can highlight your talents and be kindful and respectful. If ma'am, you have any kind of time left, I would also try to include a bit more into this.
So we have hardly 2 to 3 more minutes left. If you have content that is more important which you want to share, you can. Otherwise, we have a few questions as well. Choice is yours, sir.
Okay, we'll move forward with the questions now.
Okay. So should I ask the question?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So we have a question from one of the viewers who is asking, is there anything to stop unknown links or hacking links that are affecting our devices?
Yes.
Is there any strategy?
Yeah. This is the question we generally get on the internet. What you can do is, whenever you come across these kind of things, you could use online tools like VirusTotal. This is a tool which will help you to mitigate the threats that are coming from suspicious links or the malicious links.
Okay.
Even before you click that link, just copy that link, go to a site called VirusTotal, VirusTotal. There is a specific option of the link checker. You paste that link, click on search, and you can observe what kind of threats can be made through this. Other than that, you could also use social media platforms to report these kind of things happening.
Right, sir.
You could also use the gac.gov.in portal to report these kind of threats.
Okay. So we have another question for you, and this one is by another viewer who is asking that does our digital footprint gets recorded while we are browsing anything on an electronic device? Or
yes,
do we need
it does
some
get
other
recorded in
app?
form of cookies and analytical data.
Okay. Do we need any other app to track our previous and present digital footprints?
There is no such particular application, but what you can do is search about you on the internet, see what kind of results it brings to you, and this could be the only way for now.
Okay. So there's another question, and the person is asking that what happens to a digital footprint when we are no longer online?
It stays. Like I just told, what you do online stays on that server. It gets stored in form of data that will be forever.
Right, sir. Sir, because we do have more questions, but due to time constraint, I won't be able to take them. But definitely, I would like to thank you for your presentation, what you talked about digital footprints. You not only gave us an introduction, but you laid the foundation for the rest of the topics that will come in the week. So thank you so much once again for your time and contribution to the session. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. It was a pleasure. And I would again like to thank CyberPeace and NCERT for organizing such kind of awareness session to strengthen the power of the netizens.
Absolutely, sir. Pleasure is all ours. Thank you so much once again. So, viewers, now it's time for me to tell you about the assessment part. Yes, I was telling you that's a 5-hour or 5-day online training program where each day we are bringing different topic and you're watching the sessions. But ultimately on the 5th day, what happens? You can take part in the assessment and you can get yourself a certificate. So, let me take you to our website where you can get all the guidelines related to the same. So, as always, you need to visit our CIET website. ciet.ncert.gov.in is the URL for the same. Go to the activities section and then go for workshop and training option. Scroll down here and you will find the current activity which is going on. This is our online training program on digital footprint, which we have started today, 5th of January. It will continue till 9th. When you click on the same, you will get the entire write-up, why we are having this training program, what are the objectives, who all can participate, everybody can participate. So, please do that. And whatever live sessions you will miss watching, we will upload the same here. So, you can watch them anytime on NCERT official YouTube handle. These are the steps. I am sure by now most of you have already registered and watching the sessions very carefully. So, this is the third step which is very important about the assessment. The assessment will stay open till 15th of March and it will get open on the last day of the training session, that is on Friday. Also, if you score more than 70%, you will be granted a certificate that you can download from DIKSHA portal. Along with sending your emails on a daily basis on this email ID, you can always share your feedback regarding the training program by the end of the training session. You can scan this QR code or you can log on to this link. Well, with this, I am wrapping up day 1's training session where we talked about digital footprints, concept and need, and tomorrow we will come up with another topic. But for the moment, you please take the details of what's coming up next. And here is the program schedule. So, in a short while from now, you can watch a session Sahयोग where we will be talking about pressure points, handling expectations in exams. With this, it's a wrap. This is me, Harpreet Kaur, signing off. Namaskar.